it really just was like I was just making leather, accessories, little leather wrap for your can or for your glass, and just playing around with it. And we just, like giving them to my friends for gifts, or like I take them to the brewery and drink beer out of them. And at some point it was like, I started putting, logos on them, and the breweries were like, yeah, we'll buy those, we'll get 100 of them or whatever. And it was just sort of like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, well, we'll make, okay. Yeah. And, but anyways, I mean, I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. Both my mom and my dad were both entrepreneurs. Okay. I always did want to like be self-employed. And so I was like, well, this is something that's like easy. I don't have to have any money. Like I started this company with no money. It was just a little side project. I would just reinvest all the money that we made into like the next batch.
Thing, next mold, next whatever.
Welcome to USA Booming, where business gets personal as we tell the unique stories of the successful American entrepreneur. Here's your hosts, Ryan Culpepper and Sam Pennell.
Oh yeah, or should I say, Oowee? I don't know. What do you think, Gabe? Oh,
definitely Oowee.
Definitely Oowee. Definitely Oowee. And that's where we are. Thank you everybody for joining us here today. This one, man, I've been super pumped up. I've got to calm myself down a little bit here. We've got a really, really awesome story here to share. I don't know.
Well, I tell you, man, you take a suit off, you're ready to jump out of the cage, man. This is awesome.
I might not ever wear my suit again for a podcast.
Ever. Yeah. Ever. So we're just outside of Asheville, North Carolina today, Candler, North Carolina, to visit one of our friends we've had for a couple of years now, Gabriel Hargett of Oowee Products.
Say hello, Gabe.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, yeah. All right. Sorry, everybody. I tried. We tried to, but it was supposed to be clapping of hands that I was supposed to hit. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah. Thanks for coming out to see the shop.
It's good to see you again.
And Ryan brought his guitar playing bear shirt, which is very appropriate for Asheville.
I did.
Yes.
So that's friends.
I feel like an outsider, dude.
You're good. We'll just,
I have a suit.
You'll just quietly judge me, right?
Oh no.
I actually think I left my suit hanging up in the hotel. As we're talking about it.
Yeah.
That's where it should be.
It feels good to wear a suit, You're like
every now and then.
Yeah.
Every now and then. We're getting back into it now with COVID kind of starting to end, I hope and pray, right?
Yeah.
But prayers for everybody out there that's been affected by it. But
yes,
I tell you what, why don't we, right? So this is the second time that we've talked with you. We really wanted to get you back on, get you on video. Right now, we're probably showing some clips throughout the podcast of the shop you've got. Cool. For some of those people that haven't listened to the first one and they're new to the show, would you mind just giving them an idea of what Oowee is and what we're doing here?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So if you haven't listened to the first podcast, just go back and listen to it.
Yes, you should.
It's amazing. We're a leather manufacturer here. We're outside of Asheville, and we manufacture all kinds of leather goods, leather beverage accessories, wallets, belts, keychains, and it's all made in the USA.
Hold one up right here.
Yeah. Yeah. You're going to see the whole shop. And so we make handmade goods, and we employ adults with autism to do some hand stitching, and so we're just plugging away here, working,
Yeah, well, you sound pretty humble by it all, but I mean, we've watched his business grow. I think we met you. You were teamed up with Inc. 5000
and Mercedes-Benz.
Right? Yeah. So now, have you been able to do much of that through COVID? Any other partnerships like that?
So we still talk. Actually, Mercedes, we've been talking with them, and we've been doing a little bit of 2022 planning, but I have not done any events in 2020. I did like 10 events in January, right after COVID. We did like all these events, and then we have not done one since.
Right.
And so that whole side of the business completely, even the company, a lot of the companies I used to, these big event companies that put on events are really struggling, went out of business or had to downsize dramatically. And so it's definitely a game changer. And things changed around here pretty quick in March of 2020. So it's been a roller coaster since last time we talked.
It was about 6 months before COVID hit, really.
Right. Yeah. And so, it's been lots of peaks and valleys since then.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's unfold that or unpack it with some of the, we'll talk about some of the more silver linings first, because that's maybe more fun to talk about, and then we'll get into the clouds.
Yeah.
What do you feel like Oowee has done better or figured out through this COVID era as a manufacturer? What are you doing where you say, man, I didn't know we had that in us?
Well, one thing that we did was we pivoted, and we did a lot of stuff that we'd never done before. We made, right when the pandemic first hit, we had tons of orders cancel. So we had a full production board and for all orders that were going to these events. And they were like, not only
events,
we don't want those anymore, and stop production and give us our money back, no. And
with some of those, were some of those orders already orders that you had begun? I know there's a backlog.
Yeah, we stay about a month out, so we have about a month's worth of work in-house, and it all worked out fine with, canceling, but still we're like, and it really brought out to me how important events were to this business. Like I underestimated how, not only the events that I was actually going to, like that Mercedes event where we met, where I was actually physically at the event, and I was doing a lot of those, but our products were going to events with large groups of people across the board. So that just it really kind of put things in perspective, where it's like, wow, these, the sporting events, the conferences, trade shows, how important those were to the business model that I have.
Right.
Because a big chunk of our products that we make are going into, people are using them for promotion. It's a functional product. It's cool, like a leather patch hat or a keychain or a coaster, and it lasts a long time. And people love to give them away. Oftentimes at big gatherings of people, large gatherings.
And that pretty much just dried up there.
Right. Yeah. So we immediately kind of pivoted. We started making cloth face masks. We had a lot, I had, full staff, had a bunch of employees that we're all still need to pay our bills every month. And, so I immediately started kind of partnering. I kind of teamed up with some local companies. There's a few companies here and I was kind of like, well, I've got these are the machines that I have. I've got clicker presses. I have sewing machines. I have staff. What can we do? And
how can we help? How can we help the cause? Right.
And it was really pretty cool. There's a lot of companies that were all coming together. And I talked to a lot of other business owners during COVID. Just at the beginning, they were we're all kind of in the same boat, where we're like, hey, how do we pivot? How do we it's just at that point when it first hit, it was how do we just do something that's going to help this problem resolve itself? Because it's funny now to think about the fact that there really weren't any face masks available.
No.
And it was just there, you couldn't get one if you wanted one.
It was pretty crazy. People were making them on Etsy and all types of stuff. It was funny. I actually was watching a Simpsons episode, and somebody put on a mask, and everybody ran out freaking out oh my gosh. It was wow, man, we're all wearing those now. But but you're right. Exactly. Just even having something as simple as a mask was really hard to find.
Yeah.
And so that's cool. It's a good little community here in Asheville. I'm sure the community came together and really, bonded and came through. When did you start to see it pivot back to the old business?
So around October, the fourth quarter of 2020, we were back making leather goods, but for, I don't know how many months there, a couple quarters, we totally stopped making we kept taking our orders for our regular products, but we shifted everything over. We made cloth face masks, and we made clear plastic face shields. And we helped another company here in town that had these huge orders for these clear plastic face shields, and we were die cutting them. So we kind of partner with them to do I was you need this, our machines that we use for cutting leather. We realized, hey, we can use these to cut this plastic polycarbonate material. And so we kind of retooled everything, and it didn't really work with leather dust and doing leather and face masks.
Right. You kind of had to do one or the other.
And I really I don't want to be in the face mask business, but what I wanted to do was I wanted to try and help
Absolutely.
Do something. I kind of felt like I'm the kind of person who like is not going to sit at home. Like I was just like, the idea of like just not doing anything was really tough for me. I was just like, so I'm supposed to just stop. Like, and then like, I can't breathe the air, it was just like, I was like, man, I feel like I'm suffocating,
yes.
I think a lot of us felt that way.
Yeah.
But I also feel like knowing you and who you are, you probably also, and by the way, we're here at his office. I mean, day to day manufacturing stuff. So if you do hear things bumping around and clapping, he's taking time out of our day. So we like that. But, I just in knowing you and who you are, and, there's a really noble story to this company that we'll certainly get into here a little bit, but I doubt that you were one of those that really wanted to sit down. I'm sure you were probably spearheading some of it and really, trying to make an impact in some way. I mean, you're certainly an impactful employer. I would see that would probably carry over.
Yeah. Well, thanks. Yeah. Well, I definitely was trying to just, kind of like, let's open up the doors. Like and I was getting these calls from like huge like Ingle, like the local grocery stores, like, can you make us face masks, or we need hospital gowns. And it was kind of interesting. Another local company put together this website where you could go on and say, I'm a manufacturer and I have a laser engraver and I have a clicker die. And you could like just say, hey, who needs this type of equipment to like, what part of the process can you do to kind of like team up? And it was pretty interesting. I got a lot of like interesting calls through that network, right during the pandemic. And it actually turned out I took on some contract jobs where like they're a little different, and that we still are doing now. Like I'm making stuff out of leather, but I kind of like opened up the company Oowee to say, hey, we have these tools and we're able to make these things. And I was, I took a lot of calls where typically during the year I would just say, sorry, we don't do that and so I entertained some different avenues, which really came out to be a pretty good experience at the end. Yeah.
Awesome.
So entrepreneurs out there, what a great lesson from Gabe to be willing to adapt and evolve to the times around you. Sometimes it's long-term. Other times, like what we're seeing right now, it's rather short-term. So with what you're doing, why don't we touch on well, you want to say something?
Just, we talked a little bit about evolution and we're showing pictures on the video of all these presses and molds and those types of things. Can you go back, several years ago to kind of the genesis of this? Where did it all begin? I mean, it didn't start with you buying a whole bunch of stuff and cutting up leather or did it?
No, it wasn't. We do have a pretty organic, company history where my background's in orthotics and prosthetics. And I've always, before that, I was a bicycle mechanic, and I love tools. I love making stuff. I love to create things. And we really started with my one product, the beverage, the pint glass sleeve. It's a leather beverage insulator that goes on a pint glass.
Yeah.
And you guys can probably hear Rose out there. She's making
do you want to show them one? I think there's one right behind you.
Yeah, one right here.
Yeah.
Drinking water out of it right now.
That's so cool.
It is cool.
So this is our original product right here that kind of put the whole company on the map. And I patented this design, and the brewery started buying them from me, and it all kind of just grew. And so I was like, well, I'm going to make beverage accessories. So I started making.
So was this like in your garage or?
Yeah, I had a full-time job. I was working in orthotics and prosthetics.
Right.
And, I love I always tell people, like, me and my former boss, now like one of my best friends, we still hang out all the time. And I actually really enjoyed my day job.
Okay.
And I really wasn't like a disgruntled, like unhappy worker. I was just sort of like playing around, and leather was one of the materials I used to work with in orthotics and prosthetics. And it was one of like the least, like, just, it didn't have this, as far as chemicals and, it was toxic to work with, or we worked with a lot of materials that really were, at the end of the day, you would say, man, that was a tough day. Like I've grinded fiberglass all day, or I laid carbon, I've got carbon resin
all in my hair.
And we used a lot of foams and plastics and silicones. And I just was like, I loved that. I loved what you could do with those materials,
right?
And I really, we did a lot of vacuum forming plastic and stuff. It was really cool stuff, but it was it was pretty harsh. I mean, it was like your skin you get like a rash from, you'd have like carbon dust in your pores or something.
But not with leather.
Leather was, it's a natural product. Leather does have some tan, when they tan leather, it does have some chemicals, but it's very, it's nothing like this other, it's much more user friendly and not as bad for the environment and long lasting. It's got some good qualities.
So cool. So you started this just because you wanted to get in with the brewery guys and give them get some free beers or something? Or was that the angle at first?
It was really, we know what goes on.
How did the brewery guys know? Did you just kind of walk up to them and say, "Hey, dude, I can make these"? Or?
Yeah. Well, so it really just was like I was just making leather beer, accessories, little leather wrap for your can or for your glass, and just playing around with it. And we just, like giving them to my friends for gifts, or like I take them to the brewery and drink beer out of them. And at some point it was like, I started putting, logos on them, and the breweries were like, yeah, we'll buy those, well, let me get 100 of them or whatever. And it was just sort of like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, well, we'll make,
okay.
Yeah. And, but anyways, I mean, I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. Both my mom and my dad were both entrepreneurs.
Okay.
And, I always did want to like be self-employed. And so I was like, well, this is something that's like easy. I don't have to have any money. Like I started this company with no money. We didn't have like, we didn't have any money. So I just sort of like, it was just a little side project. I would just reinvest all the money that we made into like the next batch.
Next mold, next whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We need to, we'll sell some stuff and buy a new tool or whatever. And so at some point,
really cool.
Yeah, at some point it was like in my basement, and then I tried to partner with the Autism Society, kind of like speed up a lot of the stuff we went over in the first episode. But I partnered with the Autism Society of North Carolina,
which is awesome. It's a really very cool story.
Yeah. Okay. And so that was a pivotal point because I had a workforce. The stuff that I was making was very labor intensive. You had to hand stitch each one. And so until I really found a way to like get that hand stitching part done, it was really just very difficult to get. Even if the brewery was like, hey, let me get 500 of those pints. Those are cool. I'd be like, oh, awesome.
Great. My hands are going to cramp up.
I can't really sew those. It's like, when do you want them? Like next year, but
one a night, that's 500 nights.
Yeah. So that was, so once I found the partnership with the Autism Society, and they had this workforce they were trying to put to work,
right?
That turned out were great at sewing the sleeves, and they enjoyed it, and it was working really good. So those are my first employees were the adults with autism, and they started sewing them, and I would do all the rest. And, and obviously at some point I said, hey, I'm gonna do this full time. And I went and took some classes at the Mountain BizWorks, local, like a small business incubator.
Okay.
And at that point it was still kind of like, this is cool, but I'll just, it's like a fun experiment. Like, it's just like, like trial run of business. It's just,
right. Like see where it goes.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it was, I definitely had a lot to learn, and this business has been a learning experience from day one, just like 100% like learning as you go. And as far as like learning stuff, I definitely, if I can apply it directly to my daily life, I can like study something and learn like how this is going to apply to me today. But it's really hard for me to try and learn something that doesn't really apply to my life, like where I am like thinking about, oh, maybe this will help me sometime later, but I don't really have an application for it is challenging.
Right.
I think, so
you need a real tool in the real kit.
And a real reason. Yeah.
Yeah. So just curious, as you started the business, I know you're married and you're a dad. Were you married at that point when Oowee was getting started?
So no. And I'm actually engaged currently. Jamie and I have been together forever, and we are getting married eventually. So I feel bad. Jamie, I love you.
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry.
We're going to have a wedding.
That's
soon.
my bad.
Yeah. No, it's going to happen.
All right.
It's going to happen, babe. Good. One day soon. So, but we have a 5-year-old son who's awesome.
Okay. Very cool.
Named Weston.
5 gets kind of fun. You're past the terrible 2s and the 3s, and they're.
I think 3s are worse than 2.
I do too.
Yeah.
I've got
5 is awesome. We've got a 5-year-old girl at home.
Yeah, I've got a 2.5, so we're right there in the woods.
Awesome. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I love being a dad, and yeah, we're having so much fun. 5 is great. Yeah.
So I mean, with being a dad and an entrepreneur and those types of things, right? You've got a 5-year-old. They love dad, right? I mean, especially at that age. But there are some times where everybody has to kind of put in those hours, and especially here, right? We're in the holidays. I know that there's a backlog and those types of things. I mean, it's a struggle. Is there anything that you do to really balance out that work-life struggle that we all have?
Yeah. Work-life balance is not going well right now. So every year, so first off, when I first started the company, I did not have, I've been doing this for things like the 12th year, 10th.
Awesome.
So anyway, so luckily those first really like the first 5 or 6 years, I didn't have a kid at home that was, needing my time. And that really does help. I mean, honestly, this company was sort of like my child, and I was able to put a lot more energy into it. And I started this company when I was 26.
Right.
And, there's a lot to be said about just having energy. Cause I did like the sweat equity. I'm like a bootstrap business guy where like, right. I definitely put in the sweat equity and just like, put in the time, to build the company up to where today I can afford to pay employees. And it's, where I'm at now, I need a team of people. There's just no way possible for me to do, you just can't.
You can see it with the inventory and just the sheer numbers. There's no way one person could actually come out there and actually, kind of pound it away what you're doing.
Right. It takes a team for sure. And that's really where we're at now, is like where I'm really focused on team building and getting the right people in place. And that's my main focus here, is like to make sure that I have the right employees and the right tools and the right plan strategy on how to grow from where we are now. But obviously, we had this kind of organic growth, and we were able to grow. And I grew slowly. Like I think we could have. A lot of business owners, a lot of people that you talk to will try and grow a lot faster. Like when we met at Inc. 5000, it's the whole event was about the fastest growing companies. Well, and it's funny. I was like I'm like the polar opposite of the Inc. 5000 business model.
Just hammer away at the leather one day at a time. Right?
Yeah. I mean, my strategy in life and business is to let's just do it a little bit better today than we did yesterday. Let's just make a little bit of, and like just constantly just like making a little bit of progress every day and try to not go backwards. And during this last year of COVID, that was the hardest thing for me, was that for the first time ever since I started the company, we've been on a steady growth pattern. Looking, our graph we're going up every year. And then COVID, we like dropped, we were like 50% down in 2020. We did half our revenue from the 2019.
Yeah.
And to grow it, to go back to where I'd already been was really, it just was like not as fun the second time around, to go back.
Yeah. To build back is hard.
Right. And so, and I feel good about all my decisions that I made during COVID. And like, I'm very conservative, and like that, like really shined during COVID, that I was like, I had savings and I had like, a rainy day fund, and like it rained and, during 2020. And then we basically were like, I kept everyone here working, and we, pivoted to doing the face masks and face shields and stuff, but we were taking orders. We were like, I basically like shut that down and went right back to what we were doing as quick as possible with the least amount of friction. So I wanted to have like, the second that we were ready to go back into production with our business model that we want to be in, we were like ready to do it.
So that was an exciting day. Or was it? Was it?
It was. Yeah. It was great. Yeah. I mean, I appreciate everyone who bought our face masks from us, and I hope they worked out good. We but like, I did not go into business to make face masks, and I'm really happy to be making leather products. I'm much happier, and that's what I want to be doing. And so that was good. And we, so by fourth quarter of 2020, we actually had a great fourth quarter. We did awesome online. We're already an online company. We sell on Amazon and Etsy and our website. Mm-hmm. And, I brought in Jerome, who's you met earlier, who has been great. He's taking on our retail side. So he's really our e-commerce and social media. So he's running
perfect, right?
And he came in right away and has been doing great. And so
Big shout out to Jerome.
Yeah.
Good job.
Good job, Jerome. Yeah.
Go ahead and give a shameless plug to your website and how people can actually find some of these resources.
Yeah. So you can find us if you Google Oowee, which is OOWEE products, PRODUCTS. You can look us up. OoweeProducts.com is our website.
And there'll be a link right down below on the YouTube comments as
you
well.
Can click on there and you can see we sell on Amazon. We sell on Etsy. We have, you'll see our products on there for sale, but you should go to our website. That's the way to go. I think that,
all right.
Anywhere you get one, we have a lot of partners. If you find them in stores, like get it wherever you want, but, come directly to us is always nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and just to kind of get back to the story a little bit here, fourth quarter 2020 is really good. You're starting to get back into process. You're feeling good, getting things going. We're now, 2021. As you showed us around, I mean, literally busting at the seams. You're going to, as you see, as we're showing things, I mean, you can't find a space here in the building. So as you're getting back into healing mode and back into growth, I mean, ideally, if we could say where do you want to be in 5 years or what have you? You've got a beautiful property, which certainly is being shown probably right now. And what's the plans?
Well, I think that one thing I learned during COVID is that I think that everyone, myself, all the employees, it's good to be like on that plan to growth. So I think you do kind of have to grow, or you're either growing or dying. Right. I think that's like pretty true, especially in business.
Yeah.
And
if you're not growing, you're dying. Right. I mean,
you kind of become complacent and you just sort of fizzle out. And so, I'm actively really planning on team building is where I'm at. And that's really and honestly, I've been there all year. We've had a great year. We've been super busy. But this business, we are limited by what we can produce. So there has been times in this company where we could produce as much as we could sell, and we were out trying to make sales because we had a production availability. But right now, we have way more sales than we have the ability to produce, and so we're turning work down because we just can't do it.
He needs people.
I need people. Right.
People.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty big barrier right now.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. Right now. So, I mean, even today, while we're recording this show, I have 2 people that are not here or 3. I had a temp person that's supposed to come in. So there's kind of 3 people who
3 no shows.
Well, they all called. They just had, there are various reasons out of town or sick kids are sick or whatever. And then we've got a few positions that were open. We're actively hiring. I just turned off my Indeed listing yesterday because I just, at this point in the holiday shopping, I don't have the time to even do interviews right now. It'd be my time
hands on deck.
My time is better spent just getting the orders out that are due.
Yeah. So actually you told us the backlog is so extensive that you actually have cut off sales for the time being, almost in essence, just to be able to fill orders. Right.
Right. Well, we'll take your order for bulk. So if you're looking for holiday gifts and you're trying to buy 1 or 2 pieces, you can go do that right now. You'll see on our website. We'll tell you when you can do that up to. And so we run those small sales. You're hey, I want to buy a gift for my dad. I want to buy a gift for my brother-in-law. We run those a little different than we run our large scale, production runs, because a lot of our customers will call and say, hey, we want to buy gifts for our whole company. We need 500 portfolios. And so those are the ones that we're those are scheduling in the end of January of 2022.
Right. You're behind the 8 ball on that one.
Yeah. We stay about a month out. So 3 to 5 weeks of production year round. And every single year, this time of year is tough because we stay out 3 to 5 weeks. And so December is always our worst month because we've pretty much sold all of December and at least November. And so when you if you looked at our accounting, you'd say, oh man, you didn't sell anything in December. How did that happen? But it's because we pretty much are only selling small gifts during this month. And the rest of the year we're selling kind of larger production run.
Cranking it out.
Right. And so we'll take your order as long as you can take it in 2 months.
There you go.
Yeah.
Plan ahead, people.
Plan ahead. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
No, and again, I think the business model is really cool here where you took the manufacturing plant and you kind of have that on the downstairs and you have some tenants upstairs, right? So it's a beautiful little production model, something that a lot of people could probably learn from. Is there, it's a big piece of property, plans of expanding down the road, I hope, or
So
it sounds like you need it.
Yeah, we do. We've only been in this building for like less than 3 years, and we are just kind of busting at the seams here. And we do have 3 tenants upstairs, which is great. And that was like the original plan was maybe we'll be able to move in upstairs. And I honestly love the tenants. They like just having the rental income is really nice. It's very stress free. But we do have a big piece of property here, and so long-term plan would be to build next door in our lot next door and just build a facility that's really set up well, like that has a workflow, like maybe have a receiving dock and a shipping dock, and really like where we made this space work. And this is definitely an improvement over our previous space. But there's always room for improvement. And if we got to build our own facility from scratch, we could really and that's kind of where right now we're limited with our growth by the amount of products that we can produce. Right. And so to do that, I need the right people in place, there's more management that goes on, as the staff grows. And then I need the right tools, this is an equipment heavy business. It's not like
you need a building as custom as your product.
That would be ideal. Yeah.
Be able to lay it out and kind of build it up.
Yeah. Build like a dream shop. Yeah. It'd be cool. And so this property does have that room for growth. We have the property to do it. And, we just need the money. So if you guys want to send me some money, we'll start building that building.
Again, it's Oowee products. Go straight to the website. Don't
Investors.
Do it through. There we go. There we go. Any seed money, right?
Yeah.
But, very cool.
Right.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, good.
I think it's time. What do you think?
I think it's time. So I can feel it coming. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So as you can see, this is just a fun shop. We've got cool partnerships with the people from autism, just an incredible perseverance story, battling through COVID, and it kind of comes off pretty easy, man. You seem like pretty chill about it and nonchalant, but we're going to try to make you squirm a little bit. Part about being an entrepreneur is kind of thinking on your feet, adapting. So what we've got here is we've got the fishbowl, and what the fishbowl is we're going to go ahead and just pull a few more questions out of the hat, see what they say. And hey, sometimes the fishbowl is nice and we have a great little conversation. Sometimes you're gonna squirm a little bit, but with that, I don't know, Sam, do you want to pull the first one or?
Yeah, and I'm going to do what I did last time we were together. I'm going to give a shout out to somebody listening out there.
Please do, yeah.
Podcast universe, right?
That's right. This is worldwide.
I'm actually going to even one up it from the last time. Okay, so I just checked. Excuse me, our stats on where people are listening. And whoever is out there in Boardman, Oregon, much love to you for listening to.
Thanks, Boardman.
USA Booming there. And hey, I'll one up it. You see this pretty sweet USA Booming hat Gabe made for us. We had a production run of these, and I've had mine for 2 years. You can maybe see the dirt all over it. But if you reach out to us at usabooming.com or Sam at usabooming.com or Ryan at usabooming.com, I'll send you one. So
there we go.
There's some USA Booming love coming.
Chotskis, give us a shout
over there, and you'll see how sweet Gabe's products are.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me.
All right. Well, then we'll move on to mine. So after that nice little shameless plug, go buy a hat on Gabe's site. Gabe, you talked a little bit about your parents.
Yeah.
Being entrepreneurs, those types of things. But sometimes parents can be a little embarrassing. So just thinking back throughout time, what is the most embarrassing thing your parents have ever done?
Embarrassing thing. Both my parents are awesome.
There we go. Mom and Dad.
I don't get super embarrassed. My mom is pretty interesting.
Okay.
But she would, I can't remember the name of the song. She would come pick us up, like blaring music and stuff.
That's awesome.
But
Like in the carpool line?
In the carpool line.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Like we had the old Ford Explorer. We'd rock out. Like I have a lot of memories of listening to like loud music with my mom.
That's cool.
But I don't know if I was embarrassed by it though.
See, my kids are. I pull up to the carpool and they're like, turn it down, Dad, turn it down. And I'm like,
Yeah, my kids are too.
Yeah, I'm one of 5 kids, and I think that we were like just embarrassing ourselves constantly. I think it was I think it was mostly us.
It was more Mom and Dad were like, oh my God.
we don't even know them. Like,
that. That's funny. Yeah.
All right.
So maybe they keep driving by on the carpool line. It's like, those aren't our kids.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, the next one. Yeah,
I think up the street.
Yeah, I think that we did a pretty good job embarrassing ourselves.
So out of curiosity, what number are you on the 5-child
youngest of 5? I'm a twin.
Okay.
So I got a twin sister.
Okay.
And we're the youngest. And she's got me by 5 minutes. So she's been reminding me.
So you're truly the youngest.
You are the youngest. That's
the
cool.
youngest. I think by that point, my parents were just like, whatever.
Yeah, you're number 5, dude.
Yeah.
Raise yourself.
Yeah. They were like, yeah, we're not going to do anything. Just do it.
So, and then what's the age difference between your oldest?
I think it was like, my brother, I think was 5 years older.
Oh, that's it. Wow.
Like we're twins, and we have my mom and dad. So I really have, we were all the same family, but we had like, technically it was my half sister that my dad adopted, and then the half brother.
Gotcha.
So the first 2 are like my oldest sister, and my brother were like basically the same age.
Okay.
So we were all very close in age.
All right. Yeah. I was hoping maybe they had some help babysitting with the older or something, but 5 years, man, that's, I don't know if I could trust my kids,
No, that's pretty dicey.
Yeah. I know it's funny now that I'm a parent, I'm like, 5 kids. That's just crazy.
That's crazy.
Like what? You can't do anything with 5 kids. Like nothing.
No, and what's so funny is
big shout out to Mom and Dad.
Yeah, no, Mom, I give her, good credit, guys. You guys managed to survive, and we all still get along. So it's good.
There you go.
And every time you have another one, you hit reset. It's like you're starting to go out and live life again and do things, and it feels normal. And then it's like, oh, we're back to diapers and naps. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, here's one for you. What is the most irrational superstition you have?
Irrational superstition.
Or are you a superstitious guy?
I'm really not that superstitious. There is irrational superstition.
There's no such thing as superstitions here then, huh?
I don't know. I guess I don't really
Do you have any?
He plans ahead.
Yeah.
Not really. There's like, bring a banana on the boat or something,
Yeah. No, I've heard that one. I did not know that was bad luck, right? Banana on the boat fishing.
Yeah. You're not supposed to do that.
I didn't know that.
I feel like that I'll definitely try to like avoid bad luck. Like if someone says, hey, that's bad luck. I'm like, well, let's not bring it. Are you crazy? Yeah. But yeah, I'm not really that superstitious.
You know what? I'll make a lot of my business decisions sometimes, please, don't hold it against me, but like, sometimes just like either way, you're going to make it work. So just flip a coin.
Right.
The coin tells like, let's go,
Yeah.
We've had many a discussion and all of a sudden he'll just stop like an hour-long discussion about one topic. And he's like, pull out a coin.
back and forth. And it's like, you know what?
Pull a coin out. We're going to flip a coin.
Flip the coin.
And just go.
You know what's even worse now? He has an app that flips the coin.
Oh,
So
no. That doesn't count.
That's terrible.
If I don't have a coin,
But that's terrible.
It's like a coin's like a thing of the past. Like a coin. Like where would you even get one of those?
It's true. It's like everything.
Yeah. Well, we play paper, rock, scissors in my house. Me and the 5-year-old boy, I got him on paper, rock, scissors.
Nice.
Yeah. There you go.
Nice.
There you go. Well, cool.
That's better than flipping coins.
And it is. And I just pulled one out literally and we'll see what this one says. So Gabe, gosh, man, you got a lot of possessions around here if you kind of look at it that way. But out of everything out there, is there a treasured possession thing that you have that you really just are excited about or really care about? Anything out there?
Aside from like my, family, I do love things, it's like, just can't help it. And I love tools. I'm like a tool guy. It's funny. Like if I had like another building to fill full of tools. This building is full of tools.
It is.
But I would love to have another building full of tools that I don't even use. That would be like really awesome. I actually just had to sell a bunch of tools just because we didn't have enough space to keep them.
Right.
And like a museum.
A whole warehouse of just tools.
Yeah, like old machines and like things that do cool stuff that you don't really need or like,
Tool museum.
I would like to I look
That
at
would be cool.
I look at eBay and just like look at old tools. And like, if I see something that I don't have any idea what it does, I'm even more interested. I'm like, what is that thing? What would they possibly have built that for? And just like most of them weigh like 2,000 pounds or something.
Right.
But, so I need like a forklift to move them around and just a room full of old machines.
I hope and pray that happens for you, buddy.
Me too. Yeah.
You do so well that you can just buy tools for the heck of it. Like,
Yeah.
that one looks really cool. Let's buy that.
Yeah. Old stuff. Yeah.
Awesome.
I've got this old machine called the Kingsley.
Okay.
And it's got an awesome name and it's pretty cool. It's a gold foiling machine.
Mhm.
It's little. It has its own compressor. It's from like, I don't know, like the 50s or something. It doesn't do anything. I mean, it does actually still work, but we don't use it.
Right.
It's just like a toy tool.
Yeah.
Huh.
And it's and what's really cool is there's a woodworking aspect to this where, it's like we're busting at the seams here. We don't have any room. And then all of a sudden it's like, but we don't want to touch this woodworking area. I mean,
Yeah.
right. So is that kind of an outlet for you and like tools that you really dig on? Or?
Yeah, I really do love woodworking. And it is just one of the things that I really want to learn more about. And woodworking is sort of a black hole where you can just like dig into it and you can just keep learning more and you can keep getting better. And there's just a lot to it, which I love things like that. And so, yeah, and even leather working, like I'm still, 12 years in, like I'm like still excited about learning new processes and like learning new tools and just getting more into leatherworking, doing different types of leatherworking. But yeah, woodworking I love. I've got the wood shop here. We do our displays and we make tap handles, make bottle openers. I make a couple products that kind of like sort of justify the tools in there.
Yeah,
justify.
Now that I'm getting to know you, I know why they're there now.
Right,
It's
yeah.
like, maybe one day I'll need it.
Yeah, the company needs to buy this table saw. It's very important. Yeah. But yeah, the wood shop, and I really wanted a wood shop when I was like trying to move into this building. I was like, and so we don't have a kitchen or a break room, but we have a wood shop.
There you go.
Priority, and we really need a break room, pretty bad. But
that's funny.
Well,
that wood shop.
We put the donuts right on the shop floor today. That was proof.
We put them on the shipping table where they have to like if they want to ship something, you got to first move the donuts. Yeah, we have a lot of spaces here where it's like in the morning it's packaging and then you like move it and we glue hats there and then we do shipping there and like every surface is multi-use.
Multitasking.
Yeah, we're using the space. Yeah,
that's great. Well, the perpetual novelty that you have with what you're doing with leatherworking and woodworking, it's like, what a great lesson just to find something new that you already think you can't master these things. Really. It's that's encouraging to me.
Yeah, I think it's important to always be aware that you don't know all the things yet. Right. I try and tell my 5-year-old that like, you just don't know yet. There's more, you don't even know what you don't know.
There's more to the story.
Yeah,
that's right. You ready for a couple more?
I'm ready.
All right. You talked about growing up in a big family. So do you have a best birthday ever? Like a memorable party or anything like that?
I think my best birthday ever. So I usually, like when I was a kid, me and my twin sister had some good birthdays, but as an adult, like after I was of drinking age, I would always throw myself a huge party. So like, I think that if it's your responsibility to throw yourself a birthday party, or I always thought it was. So I threw myself some epic parties when I turned 30. And me and my friend Cy, one of my buddies here, shout out to Cy Ezolt.
All right, Cy.
He's the man. He also he comes and helps me here all the time too. Okay. We do events together and everything, but but we have almost the same birthday and we've had birthday parties together forever. But we had, when I turned 30, we, it wasn't like a wedding, but we had like a tent, hired a DJ. I got like a hot dog cart to come.
Nice.
And it was like a costume party because my birthday is around Halloween.
Yes.
It was my favorite party.
Yeah. By far. I can. Yeah. If you guys could see that, you could just see he just kind of sat back in that memory there for just a little bit. I dressed
as the Mad Hatter. I had like a purple jacket on with like the tails.
Yes.
And
you did it.
It was pretty cool. It was a good party.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Well, very cool. Yeah. Very cool. We need to have a masquerade party, I think, a little booming thing or something and run around.
Maybe when Booming turns 3.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Maybe. So look, we're going to hit you up with one or two more and then let you get on to producing because time is money here, right? Look, if you could have free meals for life at one fast food chain, which one would it be?
Fast food.
Yeah.
You know, for years I swore I would like never eat fast food again.
Oh, really?
Now it's a time. There's just like I do it more than I've ever done it before lately.
It's convenient.
I think I'm gonna go Arby's.
Ooh, all right.
You know, everyone loves
They have the beef, right?
Everyone,
the meats.
Everyone loves Chick-fil-A now. It kind of like bothers me how busy Chick-fil-A is.
It's crazy.
You guys got to just leave Chick-fil-A alone. There's too many people there.
Just go find another place.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much my kids eat Chick-fil-A. And they would, if you told them we're eating Chick-fil-A today and tomorrow and the next day, closed on Sunday, right? They would say, okay, that sounds great.
Yeah.
And I can't do it. I've had it way too much.
Yeah.
So Arby's, that's an appropriate answer. I'd go eat a roast beef sandwich with you. Little horsey sauce.
I mean, I really think that in general, like we should not eat as much fast food, like as a whole. And I definitely don't. If I had to eat fast food, if it was free for the rest of my life, I'd call that a curse. I would turn that one down. I'd be like, I don't want it.
Like that's it. No more.
I'm just like destined to eat too much fast food.
Well, I immediately think of like that Super Size Me. Have you seen that one where the guy eats McDonald's all the time and he like almost dies after 30 days of only eating McDonald's?
Yeah, it's really gross.
That's nasty.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It'd be kind of like, win the lottery. It's like a curse somehow. Maybe that's a curse. Maybe that's the superstition. If you like suddenly get given $1 million, you'll have to get hit by a truck the next week. Isn't that what they say about winning the lottery?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely a curse there. Did you?
I did.
Did the last one. Okay. Yep. This is actually an awesome question that the Fishbowl just pulled out, knowing that you grew up in a big family. What's the meanest thing you ever did to a sibling or that a sibling did to you? I didn't know that was in the bowl.
I don't know if we can like get through this like on on a platform like this. If we were like sitting around not recording a video,
right,
we could talk about it.
That's funny.
Maybe one that's recording friendly.
Me and my twin sister did quite a bit of mean things to each other, and I would say the meanest thing I ever did to her was I just like was mean to her for 4 years or something.
like
high school.
Nice to her.
Yeah. We really weren't friends until we turned about 20, and we went to different high schools. Me and my twin sister. So Christina, sorry about being mean to you in high school. But that was pretty brutal because it wasn't like a one single incident. I was just like steady kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. So
you were being the brother. She kicked me in the womb, because I'm a twin. For like, I don't know, 8 of the 9 months. And so I was mad about it for about 18 years. And then I got over it when I turned 19 and now we get along great.
Yeah. Awesome. I feel, I'm sorry, Ashley. I beat on you a little bit and I would pin her down and fart on her face.
Oh yeah.
And that she's still to this day, right? I didn't know how bad that scarred her. And then like, I think almost every time we get together, she talks about it. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Here's your sign, right?
Yeah. All right. That's a scarring experience. What's funny about kids is like me and my siblings will get together and we'll talk about our childhood and we'll have the kind of the same memory, but it'll be like completely different. Yeah. So like the way that I experienced that day or whatever, and the way that my twin sister did and my middle sister and older sister. Right. It's just like, they're totally different. It's like, were we even at the same party? Like, what are you talking about? And it's just like interesting how they're
different rose colored, different colored shade glasses or whatever. Right. I mean, it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
Yeah, totally.
Well, very cool. I tell you what, I mean, we told you we'd get you like 30, 45 minutes. Do you want to do one more or should we let him get on his day?
It's your turn.
All right. Well, we'll do one more. We're going to do one more.
You can end on a mean sibling.
Okay. And I'm just going to go ahead and do it. What are you most excited? I think this is a great one to end on. Really. What are you most excited about right now? Personal, business, or both? Is there anything that's really exciting, pumping you up right now?
Yeah. Well, so, business wise, we're having our best year ever. Which, I'm super excited that we turned that COVID dip into just a horseshoe.
V-shaped recovery.
We're back on the trajectory that I want to be. And that honestly, just like mentally makes me feel a lot better. Like I'm a goal person and like, I feel like we set some goals and we're achieving them. And I'm really excited about my crew here. We really did a lot of team building last year. I had to kind of like rebuild the team. And I am feeling good about that.
That's cool. It's kind of like the Phoenix, right? Out of the ashes came, maybe a new lesson and really building that team up the second time around.
It did. Yeah. The company is actually like, I feel like that we're a lot stronger than we were in 2019 last time we spoke.
Right.
One thing is that we do have now is we have a lot more smaller accounts that are now equaling a greater, the company's larger,
right.
Our gross is larger. And so it's a lot, you lose one or two, it doesn't matter. It's like better to have these
you're less dependent on one guy.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I think that's some lesson learned. And then personally, things are going great. I'm having a blast. I mean, I am working too much right now. That's one of my work-life balance is off.
Right.
But that's just something that I am getting better at. Just I know that November and December are going to be and so when you're planning for it,
right. You tee the family up, you let them know.
Yeah. And
not going to see me.
It did take 10 years for people to kind of get used to it. But I'm my family are starting to understand okay, Gabe, Gabe's going to be working
pretty hard
for 60 days straight.
Yeah. And then January. So we start trade shows. So on January 4th, I fly to Orlando and then I fly back on the Friday and then I fly to Vegas the very next.
So that's starting to pick back up then the trade show aspect. So
2022, I'm signed up for all the shows and
awesome.
I'm awesome. Getting ready to do the whole trade show thing again.
Well, take the family with you. Some of those places are great to take the fam too, right? If it does work.
My timeline is so tight.
When you're there,
I'm just going to be on the trade show floor for
hours.
Yeah. All day. Yeah. And so we did talk about going to Disney this year and I decided that we should just go on our own, just Disney.
Probably wise.
Right. No, that was smart.
Yeah.
Very smart.
Yeah.
Separate that a little bit.
Yeah. Sure.
Awesome. Hey, thank you. Why don't you give one more plug?
I mean, this is a story of perseverance and, just kind of putting one foot right in front of the other. It's Oowee products. Is there anything, let the people know one more time or?
Yeah. I mean, I hope you guys enjoy the shop tour and get to see kind of some of what we're doing here. And obviously, if you want leather goods, keep us in mind and you can look us up online at, OoweeProducts.com and just every day make a little bit of progress and you'll be doing fine.
Awesome products.
That's right.
Here.
Cool hats, cool products, cool sleeves for your drinks.
Cool dude.
Oowee products. Very cool dude. Cool story. I mean, the whole thing is really great. Oowee products. Go check them out. Buy something. Don't just think about it. Buy it. Click that button and your friends are going to appreciate the gifts that you get from them.
Don't talk about it. Be about it.
That's exactly right. So thanks for joining us. Thanks again, Gabe.
Yeah. Thank you for
Sam,
coming out.
Another good one. All right.
Appreciate it, Sam.
You.
Ryan, thanks for coming out to see me.
You got it.
Thanks for listening to USA Booming. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend or leave us a rating and a review on your podcast platform of choice. Don't forget to check out the archives for other great conversations. Got questions? Email us at Sam or Ryan at usabooming.com or DM us on Instagram at USA_booming. That's it for now. We'll be back soon with another great talk with an entrepreneur you won't want to miss.